Chief priests and elders of the people plotted to arrest Jesus in some sly way and kill him. Those who had arrested Jesus spit in his face and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him. All the chief priests and the elders of the people came to the decision to put Jesus to death. They bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate, the governor. He had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified. End quotes. The words coming at him from very powerful, very religious men must have felt like repeated punches to the gut. Can you feel his pain? Peter did. He was an eyewitness to the assaults on Jesus, but Peter also learned from them. Here's how he described what he saw in Jesus. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. If ever someone had the right to protest, "This isn't right, this isn't fair, I don't deserve this," it was Jesus. If ever someone had the right to walk out and walk away, it was Jesus. If ever someone had an excuse to complain, feel sorry for himself, find fault with God, it was Jesus. If ever someone had the right to retaliate and literally condemn those who mistreated him, it was Jesus. Instead, Jesus entrusted himself to God. He knew his beloved Father well enough to know that these very religious people, although they considered themselves God's representatives on earth, were nothing of the sort. They were wicked, sinful pretenders who would one day stand before God and give an account for what they had done. It never ceases to amaze me that the most vicious lies, the most violent attacks, the ultimate rejection of Jesus came not from the Romans or the Greeks or the pagans or the secularists, but from Israelites who were considered by themselves and others the children of God, God's people. So I refuse to let religious phonies destroy my heart for the one who loves me and draws close to me when I'm wounded. I refuse to be robbed of life's greatest treasure, a personal, permanent, passionate relationship with God through faith in Jesus. Dear wounded believer in exile, what's your story? What chapter is being written today? Is your spirit lying in the dust of your wilderness wandering? Can you hear his voice calling to you? Don't reject the God of those who rejected you. Rejecting God doesn't hurt them. It only hurts you. You are the one who has been devastated, and you are the one God is calling. Run to God and cling to him. God understands every verbal barb, every covert injustice, every emotional shard, every leering look, every jeering smirk. But he also keeps the books, and one day he will make everything right. In the meantime, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Jesus understands, because he was wounded too. Introduction. Healing is a journey. You're invited to begin. Almost everyone I know has been wounded to one degree or another. It doesn't matter if a person is young or old, rich or poor, intelligent or ignorant, healthy or infirm, educated or illiterate. We've all experienced wounds. While some are superficial and others are destructively deep, all wounds hurt. If left to their natural course, they can fester into deep bitterness, resentment, and anger that infects other seemingly unrelated aspects of our lives. Maybe that's one reason the Bible has so much to say about wounds, and the wounded, and the wounders. Throughout Scripture, we feel the pain, we hear the cries, we see the revenge. Often we observe the wounded becoming wounders, with the cycle being repeated from person to person and generation to generation. But throughout the gripping narratives, God's love is contrasted with the pain like sunlight emerging in silver streaks from behind a blackened cloud, because God's love not only comforts and redeems, it heals. One such narrative is the story I'm about to unfold for you in this book. It's a small story that's a footnote to a greater one, like a small tributary to a bigger river. The Mississippi is a mighty river. It's the greatest river system in North America and one of the longest, largest rivers in the world. It is so powerful that two of its tributaries are major rivers in themselves.